Good afternoon, good evening. How are you guys doing today? We are here with you again today. I don't know how many of you are here, but we're glad that you are. My name is David Hunt, and you are actually watching the inaugural session of the Piano Masterclass. Play piano by ear. And it's something that I felt was needed in the community, so we decided to go ahead and do it. All right, I'm just going to go right into it. I'm going to play a song, and then we are going to get to the rest of it. So let's go to it right now. Let's get into it. That was As the Deer. And really, the key of C. Yes, correct. But don't know the name of the song. Did I pass the class? Albert is asking, Albert, you get an A. You get an A. Mac is here, and I want to acknowledge you are up late. It is 1 o'clock in the morning. Mac, you are amazing. Thank you so much. You have to watch the replay. We'll catch you on the next one. So I'm just bringing you greetings from the Quiet Time Piano family. And it's been quite a journey today. And we started on time, even though I hit a button and my counter restarted. Crazy. But life happens. So we will be taking this and repurposing it into smaller, bite-sized content in a playlist and adding to it as we go along the way. So just a little bit of introduction. My name is David Hunte. I've been playing piano now for going on 43 years, if I'm not mistaken. And most of it was a journey learning to play by ear. And so it was interesting, this journey, trying to figure out if there was a way to teach someone who doesn't know music how to play by ear. And there are two things that you need to play by ear. Two things. One is you need an instrument. It's kind of hard to play by, unless you're playing air guitar or air piano or air violin. Play that all day long, right? And two is the ability to listen. Listen, right? Listen critically. One, the ability to play by, do they have an instrument? And two, the ability to listen. Now, there are two tests that we're gonna talk about, and I found these tests out by going on YouTube and listening to a bunch of different people. But in order for you to be able to play by ear, you have to be able to hear the notes and recognize when something is there or not. So I'm going to play two notes, and I want you, if you are still in the chat, tell me if you can hear if they're the same note or if they are different. All right. So here we go. I'm playing one note. You hear that note? Tell me if you can hear the piano. All right. So there's that one note. The next note, you can put it in the comments below this video as well. So I played two notes. All right, don't answer that question right now. No, so that's the first test. We're gonna call that the control. Now here we go with. Is that the same note or is this? Third test. All right. So out of those three, which one was the same note? Is it the first pair, the second pair, or the third pair? That's really to set your mind around being able to play by ear. I'm going to play them again. Okay, so we have someone who has really good ears in the audience, and they're giving us the answers. Albert, don't do it. I'm not going to put it up, so they're not going to see these. In fact, I'm going to be taking this video down at the end. I'm going to leave it up for a few hours. Maybe I'll send Mac the link so he can get it. But we're going to make it unavailable for the general public because we'll be bringing it back in an edited version. And all of this will be cut out. So this is one test that you can do if you have people in your crew. They say, hey, I want to play by ear. You have them turn around so they can't see, and you play these notes. And you'll be able to tell if they can hear the difference. You'll be like, no, those aren't the same. They don't have to identify the notes or what they are. Okay. So here's another test. Um, can you tell if these notes are in the right key? Here we go. That's test number one. And I'm going to put one more. Now, I want you to think of those four. I played four versions of the first line of Silent Night, Holy Night. If you can tell me which ones had the correct piece, which ones had the correct version. And if you said number 3, you would be correct. If you said number 3, you would be correct. Now, Albert is saying I should have showed my hands. Albert, I think that would kind of give it away, right? We wanted people to listen to it and see. Good. Okay, so now we've spent 15 minutes going over that. We may or may not cut that out. We're going to see here how it goes. That's oh man, blessings, bravo with Sheila and Albert. You guys have been in here so well listening. Okay, so now we're really gonna dive into what is music. What is playing music by ear mean? What is playing by ear and all that it entails? So I'm going to just tell you a little story. So music is sound based. Like language. If you take a baby, you put a baby in China, it will learn Chinese because it's in that environment. Right? Put them in Japan, they will learn Japanese. If you put them in Trinidad, they will learn English. If you put them in the UK or Australia, they will learn English. If you put them in Israel, they learn Hebrew, right? And Aramaic and Arabic. Well, they may learn all these other languages, but the main point that I'm trying to say is the baby, from time they're 0 till they turn about 2, they're surrounded by sound. And it's as they attach meaning to the sound that they get the vocabulary. They start to build vocabulary in that language. So when you say to a baby over and over and over and over again, come here, ven acá, or some other thing, or are you hungry? Tienes hambre. Or estás con fome, right? Whatever the language is, I just said, are you hungry in 3 different languages. You know, it depends on the different sounds that is made. And so you're surrounded by music all the time. You hear your favorite song come on the radio and it's like, oh, I just called to say I love you by Stevie Wonder. And it's like, wow, that's the song we sung at our wedding. We danced. It was our first dance song, right? And it invokes some feelings and me. So you're surrounded by sound all the time, right? Surrounded by music all the time. For example, if I play And that's something that really enables you to get, right? Surrounded by sound, surrounded by music, right? And so music is just sound that has structure and rhythm and harmony and words to it, telling a story. Maybe I'm not making this engaging. This is really dry. It's like, David, get to the point. Come on, let's get it. I want to say that it's an oral medium. It's an oral medium, meaning it's sound makes all of the difference. So there are three elements to playing music: the melody, rhythm, and harmony. Melody, rhythm, harmony. Those are the three things that really make a difference. All right. Which element is the most important? Which element is the most important? It doesn't matter. You have all of them are important equally, and playing by ear really makes your own story shine. You take the song and play it how you want. Okay. So the last thing I'm going to say before we get into some practical things, right? Some say that learning a song should use the bottom-up approach. We'll be doing something a little bit different. In this tip number 1, if you have a song you want to learn, you can do several things. You can go to YouTube and find a song, find someone who made a tutorial on the song and learn the song. But it doesn't really help you until, sometimes you have to understand what you're doing to really get it. Sometimes you really have to make it your own. In my own journey, I found that getting to the point of the song, playing the bass, playing the melody, playing the harmony, playing the rhythm, all come over time. It's not something that happened overnight. So I'm going to tell you right now, it's really going to be a journey. You have your instrument and you're listening. That's the important thing. Last thing I'm going to say before we get to the practical piece of it. You cannot overlook this point. Make sure that you play every day. Even if it's the same thing you played yesterday, you play every day. Make sure you sit down. I've been playing since the pandemic. I've played more in the last 3 years than I did in all of, the last 10 years, right? Combined, because pandemic, you're home. It's like you have to play. And I was doing these, 45 minutes a day, an hour a day during the week, every day. Oh, it's crazy. Then I drop back to 3 days a week. We may go to 2 days a week. It's working that out still. See how we could make it work. But so I said all that to say, let's play some music. Now, I had a bunch of different songs in mind that we were gonna tackle, and the one that I really wanted to go with because it's really simple. Mary had a little lamb, right? Okay, so let's get some overhead shots in. Okay, we're gonna go top cam. Okay, so here we are. I have the keyboard playing. And it looks, I tried to line everything up, but this is the best that I could get. With the camera that I have, I needed to move it over just a little, and it wouldn't go right this second, so. Okay, so in this video, I am playing C major chord. Now, the C is the one that's next to the two black keys on the piano. You see it light up there on the piano, and then it goes to the one to the left of it. And you see there's a white space in the middle. So I'm skipping a note. If I start on C, it gives me what's called the C major scale. You don't need to know what that is. You really don't need to know what that is. You know what? I probably should put myself on here. That's okay. Thank you, Albert. Sound from the mic is doubled and kind of loud. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to move this guy up just a little bit. Put it over the flashing lights so he doesn't disturb everything. So in this view, it shows you the C major chord. And once you find, this is why I asked you about listening before, because you can get that once you listen to this and you go, oh, okay, I can play the C. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb, his fleece was white as snow. Right? You just played your first song by ear. Like for real. Wait a minute. You just played your first song by ear. All right. Let's try it one more time. I'm just going to go to the piano right here. And zoom in. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb, his fleece was white as snow. It really is that simple. When you think about, it really is that simple. When you think about, just find a chord and you play it. Now, if you hold your hand in that C position, your right hand, okay, it's going to allow you to play most songs have at least 2 or 3 chords, meaning you can go or 4 chords. Most popular songs may have as much as 4 chords that you have to learn. And I'm going to show you a hand position you can use to play all of them without moving your hand to get started. It really is. And I've gone over this before on a live stream, but I wanted to just dig into it a little bit more. That's not how I wanted to show up. All right. So here we have my hand, my thumb is on C, and then the other notes as they go. You don't even need to know what they are called, even though there are C, D, E, F, and G. All right. So now there are 3 different positions. So this is thumb, middle finger, and pinky finger, all separated by the notes on there. All right. And so I went over this pointer, middle finger, and ring finger, right? Pointer, middle finger, ring finger. They are all moving in between these notes. So it's 1, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so here I'm playing the C, the D, and the E, and the G. Whoa, messed that up right there. I mean, there are other things that you can play, but for simplicity, just learning this pattern. Okay, so that's the simple part of it. You see here. Okay, so I'm just zoom out just a little bit more so you can see my left hand just now. So I'm playing C. I drop my hands down a little bit, but then I play this with my ring finger. So with my thumb on C, I play my ring finger, then I play my middle finger, and I play my pinky, all keeping in the same spot. And your ability to hear these notes is what's going to make the difference. As you practice listening to this, pattern, that's what makes the difference. You can actually play Now, what is the function of these chords? The way they work is they go in terms of the connection back to the one. There's so many things that I'm going over. I'm glossing over the theory, and everyone's like, "Oh no, you gotta understand the theory." It's like, no, you don't have to understand the theory. You just play. You just play. You learn these patterns and play them, and you pretty soon you're able to move around. I taught my son a pattern. He learned it, played it in every key. And so now he picks up a song and he's able to play them because I taught him this pattern, right? All right. So I'm going to break those down in a little bit more detail, but I wanted to just pause and give them to you. So the traditional way that I've seen people teaching this is that they teach you C chord, the G chord, the A chord, and the F chord, and that's fine. We can go down that road as well too. But I wanted to make sure that you can actually just play and not have to move your hand around. Without moving your hand around, we can go through those. Now I play them up higher. And if you have questions, I should have said this before. If you have questions as we're going along, feel free to stop me and say, "David, I never heard that before. That don't make sense. My teacher said this growing up," or "You're way off base." Go ahead and ask the questions. In fact, if you have questions, drop them below this video and we will make sure to come back and answer them with you. Now, some of you may already know how to play, and so you're just looking to see if there are any tips or tricks, anything that you can relate. And it's fine if you just have the one question or it's like, "Hey, David, I want to do this with X song," or "Can you play this particular tune?" We'll take those questions again. You never stop learning, right? You never stop learning. Okay. I'm in for the Q-tips. Okay. Okay, so you're saying that with the overhead scene, this scene, oh, I see what happened. There we go. Yeah, no, I'm recording this in Ecamm, Albert, so that when I'm done, I have multiple I have the ISO recording of it, so I don't have to take that second microphone. I can just pull the audio from the first one. And let's see here. Also getting, it's like, yes, that's better. Did it. Okay, cool. Thanks. I see y'all looking out for a brother. Always good. Right. So if we go back now to the top shot and we look at this right here. That's the typical way people teach that particular, what we call progression. And so you just take your hand, see, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You leave your thumb there and just keep your hand in the same position. It's like you have a ball. Put a ball here, and then you just turn your hand over. And you use these 3 fingers, right? Thumb, middle, pinky. So you go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You go up 1 to 6, 4, right? So you find 1, find 5, 6, 4. And so people talk about, people talk about the 50-64 progression, the 1, 5, 6, 4. That's what that is. You go 1, 5, 6, 4. So and in the key of C, you're just playing on the ivory, right? I just call this the ivories and the ebonies. I don't say the colors of them. I just call them by the material. So in explaining those, you have the different types of chords, right? The different types of chords. And you have these chords. They exist, and it's really easy sometimes to gloss over the fact that people know what's a major chord versus a minor chord versus an augmented chord versus a diminished chord, right? And usually a chord is 3 or more notes. 3 or more. Usually you can play a chord with 2 notes. It's like, right? If you had the bass note, then here you go. So I find, all right, so if I talk and play at the same time, is it too loud? What's too loud? I probably should have asked that. I think I know which one is too loud, but it used to be the other way around. It's like, David, the piano is overpowering your voice. Now that you've come to, oh, okay, that's good. All right. Very good. Okay, so let's come back to it. So the terms, the 1, let's go back to it. Terms, the 1, the 5, the 6, and the 4 are ways that you can play Mary had a little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow. Let it go, let it go. I don't let it go, let it go. And then you go to do, do. Okay, so it takes some doing. It takes some doing, but you can definitely reach your full potential with that. Full potential. Okay. Oh, sweet. Nice. Okay, so let's get back to Mary Had a Little Lamb. So before we played it, Mary had a little lamb, little lamb. Oh, you could actually use the 1-5-6-4 to play Mary Had a Little Lamb. So funny. Okay, I'm gonna drop this in. One more thing. Okay. This is what you would call a major chord. So it's ba ba da ba da ba 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 da. That's your major chord. All right. Da, 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 da. To get to your minor chord, you go da 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 da. So the difference between the minor and the major is one what they call half step. Each one of these is a half step in between. Right? And then the diminished just lowers. So you go ba-da 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 ba-da. And the C minute. It's like wah 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 wah. Usually that's a diminished chord, like in a movie or anything like that. You hear them playing, and it's like wah wah, which is a diminished 7 because it has more than 3. Right? Once you add that third note, you start getting to extended chords. And it's more theory, right? We're not into that today. So major, minor, diminished, no, augmented, augmented, and diminished. But that's really neither here nor there. Woo! I want to make sure I'm not going ahead of my notes. Okay. So let's come back to our main shot for a minute. And I just want to pause to see if there are any questions. Any questions? Okay. No questions. That's all right. We're going to keep it moving. I want to just talk here about the rule of theory, the role, of theory. Music theory is to music what grammar is to language. Let's say that again. Music theory is to music what grammar is to language. The music theory outlines or details the rules of it. Thank you, Laquita. You said driving and listening using text to speech. That's amazing. Music theory is to music what grammar is to language. And I found it really interesting that people say you have to understand music theory to play music. And my answer to that is unequivocally no. No. You don't have to understand music theory to play music. That's absolutely false. Because there are people who play, they know the chords, they know what they are, and they just put them together in according to the song, and they're playing the song. They don't have to understand that this is a minor chord, or the 5 goes to the 6 and then the 6 to the 4. They don't even understand those numbers. Doesn't mean anything. When a baby grows 2 years old, becomes a toddler, and they start talking to you, they don't need to know that you don't put an I after C. Is that how it goes? C before E except after I. I mean, what's the rule? You know, you know what I mean? They know that they don't need to know that a sentence or a phrase has a subject, a verb, and an object, right? Sometimes the subject's implied. It's like, come here. They understand I go there, or you come here. I think it's I before E except after C. So yeah, that's right. Yes, and Laquita is the one driving. She did say no questions. I'm driving and listening and using text to speech. So it's important to understand that the beautiful thing about language is, and I'm creating these sentences. I have a script, but I'm not totally following the script because I'm speaking by ear. I'm making up the words and the sentences as I go along. I'm creating this masterclass piece just based on my say so. No, it's like I'm using the language in the way it's supposed to be used. Having a conversation. When you have a conversation, you're making up sentences based on the words and the context, and you can play it. If someone is like, I'm feeling really down, I need something, you can just go. It's just stuff that you just play, and it's like, man, that made me feel so much better because you're able to just play. So if you know these, your hand's not moving. Oh, my bag. Yeah, let's zoom out just a little bit. Right. You just play around. You just find. Oops, I made a mistake. Yeah, but you just keep going. If I flub up my words, I don't have to stop and start over. I just keep going. And that's the beauty of music. So you don't really need to know theory. You just play. You don't tell the babies like, well, I mean, you correct them. It's like, no, you say shouldn't. Or instead of, you say should not instead of shouldn't. Nah, I mean, like, no, you know what I mean. I don't know if I'm getting through to you, just like, but the beauty of playing music by ear is just play. And that is where I think I will stop for the day. Right. Some of you have been in other circles and you have you place limitations like, oh man, I used to play when I was a kid, but now it's like, that's great. You already have said, but I can't play like I used to. Just get your instrument and play. Just get the instrument and play. I want to say it again. Just get your instrument and play. Make music. Just makes, even if the notes are not wrong, are wrong. You know, there are apps on your phone that can tune a mandolin or a guitar. You set it and you just play the notes and they give it to you. Right? If you have an electric keyboard, it's going to be in tune. And most songs on the radio are in equal tempered situation, just like your own piano, electric keyboard or whatever. $50 used at the music store, you may be able to find instruments. I've found guitars, $75, electric guitars, acoustic guitars. I could walk in, it's like, hey, how much for that guitar? How much for the guitar in the window? It's like, really, Dave? Really? Oh man, you were able to, pick up an instrument on the cheap. Good instruments, maybe maybe it has a little crack on the side or something, but you're there to learn. You make music with that thing. It may bring value, bring so much joy and peace to your life. Get out there and just play. You find the notes, you make the sounds, and you can hear it. The majority of people, there's like maybe 1 or 2% of the people who cannot get it. They don't hear it like I did. Are these two the same note? And they were like, yeah. We're like, fam. Are these two the same note? Be like, yeah. We're like, no, fam. Are these two the same note? Like, no, they're different. That's technically true, but it's actually the same note, an octave apart. Are we on for next Wednesday, or is this a monthly, quarterly event? We're still working that out, Albert, because I'm still trying to make see how it'll work this time frame. And I'm not on Facebook, it's just on YouTube. I decided to keep it to the platform today. I probably should have made that point a little clearer. Only on YouTube. But, you know, it's good. Thank you, Laquita, for coming by and chilling with us. Mac will come back and check. I'll probably leave it up for a day or two, and then we'll take it down and do some editing. We'll see how much we're able to glean out of it. And the moral of the story is just play. We could delve into some of the theory things, the grammar. It's just like I talked to my daughter. She's a linguist. She knows Spanish. She knows Chinese, Korean, and Japanese, and loves Asian languages. But her college didn't have Asian language, so she did Spanish, went to Spain, spent a year, fluent. Yes, she went to Spain, Albert. I know she's a different city from where your daughter's at. And, you know, she loves grammar. So she was able to dig into the grammar a little bit. But that's the text. You learn grammar for English in school. But by the time you get to school, you can already communicate. Maybe you don't know what obfuscate would that word means, or alacrity. You don't know what alacrity means because it's not like a regular word. It's more academic piece, or even obfuscate. You're like, obfuscate. Why would you just say to hide? We could obfuscate these words or redact those words. Redact. What do you mean? You just mean you just white it out? Is that what you use? White out? Yeah, redacted. So the nuance of playing So I'm just playing the same pattern that I had before, like this. I forget that my overhead camera is flipped upside down. I really need to mount it from the wall coming over me, but I just haven't done that yet. And they just put the sheetrock up. So I'm like, yeah, here I go, putting holes in the wall already. Like, we're doing the thing, right? We're doing the thing. To keep it moving. So, yeah, that camera looked right to me. It does, but when I go to the overhead shot, if I just go top shot, it ain't right. I need to do that. So if I just go back to the regular shot here. I have to do a multi-action thing. So I have to change the scene as well as flip. So in that scene, the camera is upside down. Right? I had to, because if I just go to this camera right here, see, this is the normal way this camera comes. So I have to flip the scene like that. So you see, so my right hand is going this way, my left hand is going that way. And I'm just going to do a bonus tip for Albert using his left hand, right? The trick is you practice the left hand. So you may have some kind of a difficult passage where it's going to be like. So I was just playing the same pattern, but so just thinking the rhythm and thinking the pattern will make the difference. Will make the difference for you. Yeah. Say, the camera look right to me. Right. Now, would you want this kind of a thing every week? It's like, don't blame your father-in-law about the inverted camera. Be nice. Just remember you have a bald head that smacks. That's a good one, Albert. That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, man. So glad you guys were able to come through tonight. Feeling like when I first started, it was like one person. He's like, You know what the beautiful thing about it is? Whether there's one person or two or three, absolutely cherish who it is. So thank you guys for coming through. For Laquita, for Albert, for Sheila. Is it Sheila? Yeah. Bravo with Sheila and Yvette. You guys were holding it down tonight. Holding it down. Making sure that I was keeping it real. Like, David, you're going to have to take that out in post-production because you were sounding kind of double there, bro. You were sounding kind of double. Yeah, absolutely, Laquita. So this was kind of like more like a longer form. I like long form content. I watch long form content. I think TLA one time had a live stream. I watched that thing from start to finish. I like the long form content. Put it on in the background, have it going. I'll be like, say what? And yeah, making the long form content, especially on YouTube. And actually, y'all, I forgot about this shot right here. This is a new one that I just put in. I moved. It used to be over there, but I moved it over on this side because I thought that it would give just a little bit more perspective. I forgot to use it this morning. Yes, Laquita, that's a very good comment. Absolutely. You watch the long form content, but for tutorial pieces, absolutely. This will work better in the short form content for sure. 5 minutes or less. Anything more than that, you lose people. Anything more than that, you lose people. And when I'm doing this, I really can't see because The camera's on the other side. So we'll come back to the come back to the front. Come back to the front. We're gonna keep it rolling. Am I in focus? Okay. I need a little bit of ambient light in this one. I think I need to get a light behind me so that I really pop. I know this gives me light over here and this side's in shadow. It's kind of a cinematic look, but we can talk about it a little bit more. This part will probably be edited out of the video. That stays online. So thank you, Albert, for reminding me that my bald head smacks. This has been real. This has been good. This has been really good. And I thank you. And I'm just David Hunte, the musical technologist, admonishing you, requesting you, advising you, asking you to just go out and play. Just find that instrument that you liked as a kid. Now you're an adult. You can just grab it up and play. Just grab it up and play. Even if you played guitar or the trumpet or clarinet or the saxophone or marimba or the drums, just get in there and play. That's how you learn it. Maybe Kirk has a spare purple light in the gig bag. I came home and it was like 10 of 7. I'm like, I can't set up these lights. These lights came in. The Govee RGBIC LED light strip. Y'all, we about to find out. We're about to find out. So look for that in a subsequent live stream. We could make that work. All right. It was like Christmas in January. I'm like, oh, my lights came. And also my mat, so that I can make this desk look a little bit nicer. This is it, y'all. I sometimes don't want to get off the live. But this is David Hunte, the musical technologist, thanking you guys for coming out tonight, checking this live stream out. And don't forget, if you want to support, you leave a comment, but also you can go to like, comment, click subscribe, and check it out. Support the live stream. Go to buymeacoffee.com/David Hunte or davidhunte.link/support. Advice: don't set the lights up in strobing mode. Yes, those Govee lights do have the strobing mode where they will react to the sound as you're playing. No, we don't want that. So, I'm going to say it again for the last time. My name is David Hunte, and the musical technologist, thanking you for coming, thanking you for watching, thanking you for liking, subscribing, and doing all the YouTube-y things that everybody asks you to do, but also reminding you, asking you, cajoling you, just get that instrument and play. Make music. That's what playing by ear is all about. Just getting the instrument, playing at the level you're at, and each day get 1%, 2%, 3% better. Play each day. That's the beauty of playing by ear. And if you have classical training and your teacher is giving you lessons and pieces to learn, learn them. Learn to read. Literacy is a good thing. Playing by ear also is good, but the ability to talk, the ability to just create a sentence, your own sentence, and use the words that are in your vocabulary. That's how you get better at speaking. That's how I got better at live streaming every day, 1% better than the next. And at first, I would say and ah a lot. Maybe I did that in the stream. I don't remember because I was so busy focused on adding the value. But just play. If you get one thing from this program tonight, just play. Just play. It may make the difference in your life. May make the difference in the life of someone you love, or maybe even someone you hate. May make the difference for them. Thank you for listening today, and I hope you had a wonderful time, learned something, and you're inspired to continue creating. Just play. We'll see you later in the next one. Ciao.